part 2 of our fascinating behind-the-scenes tour of Chiswick Library. We're back with James Marshall. You're the local Studies Librarian for Hounslow Library Service. So, James, can you tell us all about the room we're in?
Well, we're in the basement of Chiswick Library, and this is where we keep the bulkier items and archives in the local collection for Brentford and Chiswick. We have the art collection, or a large part of the art collection for the borough store down here, and we have a conduit or tunnel at the far end of the room which is full of bound volumes of newspapers and other archives. A lot of the books we've got down here are district rate books, recording the payment of rates to the local council by the householders who lived in Brentford and Chiswick over the years. The earliest ones we have down here for Chiswick date from about 1850. And this enables us to look at the ages of houses, the growth of Chiswick and the development of the community. People can come to the library and ask me how old their house is, and very often I can find the first rate book which shows the street being built and the first people moving into the houses on that street and even their house. So we can answer questions like that with a high degree of accuracy. It isn't often that you get this level of survival, and there's nowhere else in the borough where such a complete run of rate payment books has survived. So this is a parish poor rate book for Chiswick, and it dates from 1851, and it's a record of the money each household paid at the levy of the parish council to the Brentford Board of Guardians, who ran the workhouse, which is now West Middlesex Hospital at Isleworth, and who looked after the poor of the parish, either in their homes or in the workhouse. And the pages give us the name of the occupier, the name of the owner if the house was rented or tenanted, the description of the property, tenant, stable and yard, house,
Shed.
barge yard, shed, yes, and the location. So you've got Chiswick Mole and Fisherman's Place and Church Street, and gradually the book works its way through Chiswick, looking at what there was there in 1851 to pay into the parish poor rate.
And we've got some very big books here, so can you tell us more about these ones?
Well, these haven't been bound. These are in the original condition, and this is Chiswick 100 years ago, and you can see how much Chiswick has grown if you compare one with the other. It's gone from a population of just a few thousand to a population in the tens of thousands here.
Thank you, James. And I know we've also got some amazing paintings down here, and oils and watercolours and all kinds of exciting artwork. Can we go and have a look at those?
Let's go and have a look at the couple of the paintings. This is a wonderful, colourful image of Turnham Green and Christchurch. It's in the naive style. Turnham Green has been a little bit squeezed and foreshortened, and we think it was done in the second half of the 1850s, and Christchurch must have been quite new at that time. It was built in 1844. What's going on in a very active scene is a cricket match, and the teams playing appear to be English. The red duster is flying outside the church there in front of a pavilion, and French. On the left-hand side of the picture, you can see a tricolour flag.
And James, I can see quite a strong military presence throughout the painting. You can see dotted about. Would that have been common at the time?
Chiswick at that time would have had the equivalent of the modern territorial army, the militia. And the militia had a barracks, which was on Heathfield Terrace towards Barleymow Workspace. So there would have been, local soldiers with uniforms to put on for a special occasion, I guess.
How did you come by this painting, James?
Well,
How did it end up
This
here?
is a donation, a very kind donation from a lady who was leaving her home in Chiswick and downsizing, and she very kindly presented us with this picture in the hope that it would go on public display. It hasn't yet, but I'm living in hopes that one day it will.
And James, you've also got a smaller painting you want to show us today. Can you tell us about that one?
Yes, let's have that one out. Again, this is a lovely Victorian naive oil on board. Brentford High Street, down by St Lawrence's Church, near Brentford Bridge, and the floral arch there with the welcome banner and the flags on it was created by the people of Brentford for the marriage of Queen Victoria and Prince Albert. And they would have passed this way in their carriage on their way from London, where they were married, to Windsor, where they were going to have their honeymoon. And the people of Brentford went to a lot of trouble, evidently, to put a wonderful arch up for the occasion and to show Prince Albert how welcome he was and how much they adored the young Queen Victoria.
So James, thank you ever so much for this behind-the-scenes secret tour of the Chiswick Library archives.
Well, it's a pleasure. It gives people a chance to see how much there is here, how important it is, and just what local libraries can offer them.